Everyone, welcome to our Monday connection. And we'd love to ask a couple of questions that came up this week. Why, when we're starting something or we reaching out to something to do, we get excited in the beginning or we awaken desire for that, we want it, and then after some time we feel like we are in captivity of that same thing. For example, sometimes you feel like to that same thing, someone get married, and then right after you feel like, what have I done? I feel like I'm captive, right? Somebody opened a business, and then realizing that after a couple of years he become the prisoners of his own business, right? Or even a relationship that you started and you don't know even how to get rid of. You feel like you are captive within that, right? A prisoner. Sometimes you open a business, you're starting a new job. Sure enough, you got excited about the job, you got accepted, everything is good, and then a couple of months later, you feel like, I'm in slavery, right? Some kind of a slavery feeling to that job. How many times you see people even wanted to start study, for a college degree or any degree that they want, PhD or whatever they want to increase in their study, and they're excited about it and they start, and then later on they're feeling like captive within that, meaning a prisoner in that in that particular area that they started, or they feel they made a mistake. So what is it that in the beginning everything seems like shining and exciting and I want to, and then later on I can't get rid of it, I just want to get out of it, right? But I can't, I already made a commitment and so forth. So obviously, to understand that the idea is that not just to get excited about the beginning, but to know and how to protect ourselves from falling to that place where we feel like, we are in captivity of that same thing, of relationship that I cannot get rid of, and so forth. First step to understand, right? You cannot prevent from that to happen. You cannot prevent that. Why? What is a captive? Right? When they capturing, a war captive, right? Or prisoners, right? What is it? Every one of those people we caught, right? In the war or in the battle, we'll bring those 10, 20, 50 people, 50 soldiers, right? Why? Because there's a certain value to who they are, right? They're worth something to the other country. So to understand that the reason you cannot prevent it, right? Because everything that is worthwhile in this world will be at risk of being in captivity of what we call the negative side, or you will be under that siege, right? I can't leave, I can't go, I can't do, I'm a prisoner. That's why many people don't want to commit, don't want to do something like that, or get married, or whatever it is that they can't figuring out how to be less engaged. So I'm not going to be falling into it. Eventually, you will be in captivity of that same issue that doesn't let you commit, right? So again, you cannot prevent it. Why? First, I want to give you two ideas. One, each one of us needs to know that as human being, your value is way more than what you can imagine. There is an attack on any human being from controlling them or put them in captivity, right? Put them in prison. So they're not going to reveal what they came to reveal. Every individual have that. So you cannot prevent that. You're going to be attacked by that. Second thing is, every time or everything that in my life meant to influence in a larger and bigger way meant to be of service for many, many more people, it will be, hunted, I would say, or attacked by the negative side. Negative side meaning he wants to make you feel like you are, prisoners of that same thing, right? So let's say I want to influence in big way, but now many people don't know that their influence, right, cannot be explored or cannot be shined because they're looking for something else. They're looking for other benefits, not just to influence. Again, we're gonna speak a little bit more about it, but this is the big picture here. Big picture here is, one is to understand who we are as human beings, that we cannot, avoid that type of a battle of putting us into a same prison that we create for ourselves, in a way of a business, of a relationship, or or even in a commitment to anything that we have. What exists in this week that can help us? What appear in this week in the Torah, in the connection, to help us understand it more, not to fall into it. It's to completely remove myself from to a higher level, not to fall into these steps. We know this week's, we're speaking about Jacob. Jacob, last week, we spoke about it a little bit more. I share with you, not on Monday, but on Wednesday, I shared the class. If you don't have a chance, go to the YouTube, I think it's there. It was a bit long, but it was a very, very deep, beautiful consciousness. But it says that Jacob, Vayeshev Yaakov be'eretz megurei aviv. And Yaakov settled down in his father, country, or in his father roots. The story goes that Joseph, his youngest son, most favored son, have some dreams. If you heard about it, he told the dreams to his brothers, and everybody got jealous of him. And they attacking him. And long story short, they pretending like he died, right? They tell the father that he died. And then, they sold into slavery, and that's how all the journey for Egypt started. It's a little bit about that story, just to have some content. But let's understand, last week, the end of the portion, we spoke about that Yaakov achieved the level of Israel, higher level of consciousness, like we all can achieve. And then this week started, and then it says, Vayeshev Yaakov, not Israel. It says Yaakov, meaning representing a lower level of Yaakov, right? Not Israel. Doesn't name is Israel. What is the idea? In this week, Jacob getting into this whole drama with the story of his son Joseph. The brothers coming in, and it says an animal ate him, killed him. He hears the blood of his gown or whatever it is. They put it in blood, and so forth. The same thing. I mean, that's from the story of the drama of Jacob getting into the whole story. From the point of view of Yosef, of Joseph, it was a complete different clarity. He didn't even know what's going on with his father and his brothers, right? But what he know, that what his brother did to him, he got the knowledge. Why? Because we have a code. It's written in a code, but Joseph was 17 years, they said, right? Ben 17 shana, he was 17. What does it mean? 17 is numerical value of the word tov, which is great, good. From the point of view of Yosef, the whole story started, and he says, you know what, I realized that process of all what my brother is doing to me right now, sell me to slavery and all of that is a great process. It's all coming from the light. He's going to go with it. But from the point of view of Yaakov, of Jacob, What happened to Jacob? After so many years, he built families. He had 12 kids. He had lots of money. He had a lot of success. He's coming from a lineage of huge giants. He did great. You know, he overcome all his past, like we spoke last week. With his brother Esau, he made peace. He achieved the level of Israel. But then what happened? As soon as Yaakov says, I want to sit down, Vayeshev Yaakov. As soon as Jacob sat down, chaos, drama, one after the other. No right, no left. He doesn't even know what. Attack. His son is about to die. Again, long story short, with another son, Yehuda and Tamar. There's other stories going on there. Chaos, a lot of chaos going on there. When Yaakov wanted to settle down, you know what? I'm going to go back to my country. I'm going to settle down. As soon as he said that, he went down to the level of Yaakov, and all the chaos attracted to that name of Yaakov, to that place of Yaakov, which is lower level of us. And this is how we can secure ourselves all the time. How many of us working so hard so we can retire when we're 30 or 40 years old, right? Or even, the majority of us working 50 years, 40, 50 years, and then we get to the 60 years old, I want to retire. What is this? Who came up with that consciousness of retirement? Or I need to, settle down, right? What is, again, settle down, some people calling it like, I'm ready to get married, have family and all of that. But he says, you know what, I want to sit down and relax. I want to go back to my roots and all of that. Again, what we want to connect to in this week is that idea that in this world, what we call the world of Asiya, the world of action, right? This is this world, the bottom of all the rest of the world. In this world, people think they can retire. People think they can, quit the work. And I'm not saying you need to work 150 years, but the consciousness of stop, lay back, it can be every person. It doesn't have to be 60 or 70. Even in your day, you work hard the whole day, and then you're like, I just want to rest. Boom, attack. I just want to take, I want to take a moment, I'm not saying when you take a proactive place of reflecting and go deeper. That's not what we're talking. But we want to take, we want to, quote unquote, retire, right? I want to settle, I want to calm down, I don't want to, right? We have to understand. And there is no option in this world to stop growing, stop transforming, and stop influencing. There's no option. Yes, people are doing it, but that's why they're attracting so many different chaotic situations, difficulty or challenges or problems. Unnecessary. Someone came across a lot of money, now they are 27 years old and they want to retire. Come on. What consciousness is it? Right? I don't want to work anymore. Again, maybe physical work is one thing, but we're talking about the spiritual work. It's endless. The spiritual growth, the influence that you meant to bring to this world will hunt you until you leave this world. You cannot stop that. How to influence, how to affect change, how to be of service for others. Everything that I have, all the talent needs to be shared, needs to be ignited. Each one of us have work and purpose in this world, right? And what does it mean? It says, לקרב אותם לשורשן. What does it mean? Each one of us need to get closer to our root. What is our roots? Our roots is the light of the Creator. Our roots is the Creator. If everything that you do in this world is only about you, there is no Creator there. It's just me, right? But if everything that I have, everything that I'm engaged with, everything that I'm doing will be able to be converted into service for others, everything, that cannot be used by the negative side to make you feel that you're in captive or a prisoner for that sake. Imagine if you look in every single day how you're transforming other people's life in every single day. How people say you save people's life every single day. Would you think to stop? Or you would think, how can I make it more? Would you think like, oh, I need to relax. I help enough people. Now it's time for others. So you really never helped. But if you are doing it, there's no single thought that comes, I need to retire, I need to stop, I need to settle down, I need to, come. No, that's not happening. So the reason we feel in captivity of whatever it is that you feel prisoner to is because you haven't yet got that thing, whatever it is that you feel imprisoned by, you haven't yet brought it closer to the root, which is being used by the Creator to share and to influence so much light and so much service to this world. We know Joseph, he was in captive. Again, where are we getting that idea? The word Vayeshev, it's the same letters, if you switch the letters, of the word Shavui, captive, prisoner. Shavui, captive, right? And in this week, Joseph was sold to slavery by his brother, the Ishmaelim, those nations who come, who bought him and sold him in Egypt. The whole process around Joseph was around 20 years. You never heard from Joseph's point of view, and you never read it, right? That he was a prisoner. One day, he was 20 years in prison. Oh, slavery, prison, here, back and forth. Never heard a single day that he was in prison. Now, again, you probably seen all these stories, or sometimes people going, had something happen to them and they had to go into prison, or they did something and, and they felt that the opportunity that they get being in prison to educate, to learn, to study something new, they came out more smarter than they enter. Most people go to prison, they come even more criminal than the others, right? Because they feel trapped, as opposed to take the opportunity, understand what is that opportunity given me. Joseph is teaching us, he wasn't even a single moment in prison because he was always in the consciousness of a king, ruler. I'm not allowing that to conduct my energy of how I'm going to feel about the situation. Yeah, but you're in a pit hole and there's snakes and scorpions in that. No, okay, so I'm going to learn how to guide them and to teach them. Everywhere he went, he was in that of this consciousness. Never stop influencing, never feel like a victim of what my brother did to me. Never for a single moment. He understood, because again, I told you the code name that was there, Tov. He realized that the entire process that he's going through is the best thing for him. It's the only way he can influence in a tremendous way to this world is only if he goes through that process. Not going into a victim or feel like in captivity of what the brothers did to him. Again, you can take a negative situation, or at least appear as a negative situation, but you don't even know that that's the best situation for you. But if you don't have that consciousness, what happened? You're not influenced. You're going to feel like a prisoner. You're going to feel, I want to run away, right? And it's going to be all day long trade-off. What am I trading to get a day, out of to the yard? I want an hour outside. Give me 1 hour of freedom. That's what people live life. They get a few days off from chaos, or some quiet time, or quiet moment from business, or they pretend to go to a vacation and have like a day off, right? But they're coming back to the same prison, right? So again, if you don't have that Joseph consciousness, the consciousness that is, first of all, there is no retirement, there is no stop, there is endless. If the light of the Creator is endless, I'm working endlessly to improve myself endlessly. But what else, Benjamin? I've done everything you told me. No, there's layers and layers and layers of work that we can do on ourselves. Again, most of us, once in a while, once in a journey, once in a month, once in every other year, maybe in a new year. Oh, now the new year came. First 30th of December, we're going to write all our list, and then 1st of January start. I'm a changed person. I'm going to do all the list, and then usually by March, I'm being very generous. We forget about that list. Remember, Joseph was in a day in prison. What does it mean? That when you make a commitment to something, why it's hard for us to commit? Let's say, for example, we are meeting every Monday, right? Why it's so hard for us to commit? I have to be, right? I mean, the number of people that, watch it after something came up. It's really your commitment who changed all the schedule around. It's really your commit. What happened, when you're in a relationship and I don't want to be in that relationship, they're too much, they're demanding too much, It's because you don't have strong enough of commitment to be the best, or to use this relationship to grow the most as you can. Most of us starting a business sometime. And then, wow, I'm a business owner. I'm so excited. I'm waking up. I'm working for myself, and I don't have a boss. I don't have anybody this. I don't give anyone. And sure enough, 2 years later, they're running around in the business like a chicken without a head. Oh, I need to go. I can't even take a day off. To take a day off, they need 60 different other people to help them, right? Oh, even that's not possible. Complete prisoner. But if I understand that my business is not mine, I received that from the Creator, and I am just the manager of the business. So it's not on you, and it's meant to be shared. It's meant to be ignited, meant to be inspired other. Again, remember, Joseph, like us, as soon as you enter to that level of why me? Why to me? Why nobody? They should get that. Boom. You are a prisoner. Right there. Meaning, Joseph, for him, it was so clear. It has to be this way. And I'm going to learn to be a leader in the prison. I'm going to learn to be a leader of all the slaves. I'm going to learn to be a leader of all the households of Potiphar where he left. And everything was educational for him. Everything was a learned experience for him. Okay, I wasn't yet, Joseph, when he started right now in this week we're talking, we know, again, because we read some of the story, we know he's going to be the king of the entire world. He's going to be the ruler of the entire world. We know that, right? He was the number one in Egypt, and back then it was the emperor ruling the entire world, to taking possession of all the food. People traveled so much to come to Egypt to break the famine that exists in this world. Long story short, now you see why he meant to be the ruler. Because when he was the ruler of the entire world, it was the same thing for him to be the ruler of snakes and scorpions in the pit hole. It was exactly the same. He never changed that type of attitude. That, oh yeah, I already achieved that. I'm already achieving that king of the world. That's it. Nobody can say anything to me. Never. That wasn't his consciousness. That was his place. Right? Become the leader, or they become this, or they become that. All of a sudden, oh, no, that's I'm not doing. Or I don't need to change. It's my employee needs to change. I don't need to change. It's the managers need to change. Right? And so forth. So again, remind you, the consciousness that Joseph had is completely different than where his father was at that particular week. But in order to awaken that, there's a consciousness, I spoke about it this week in a different class there today, which is important to understand that. When you're looking at the story in continuing the story, it says, Kol asher hu oseh, Hashem matzliach. Everywhere Joseph went into the story right now, everything that he did, the Creator succeed his ways. Everything that Joseph was touching turned into gold. Everywhere he goes. He was in the pit with the slaves. All the slaves was fascinated by this guy. Everything he's saying come into existence. Everything that he's doing works, right? Moving to the, in the prison, he was the ruler there, right? And so for everything that they say, a few times they say this way, Kol asher hu oseh Hashem matzliach. Everything that he touched, the Creator turns into gold. My question is, don't you want to find a partner like that in business, in relationship? Don't you want to find someone that everything that they do is succeeding? Imagine there's like there's a jackpot, right? Any business owner would love to have that employee that everything that they do works. But the question is, are you that person? Are you that person that everything that you touch, even though it's not the right thing, but the Creator succeed your way because it's you? Think about it. Is the universe supporting you even though it's not the right endeavor for you? Most of the time, no. Or majority of the time is no. Complete rejections all the time. Yeah, I'm not saying rejection is wrong, but I'm saying complete destruction. First of all, the idea is that what we receive in this week, it's that consciousness. Kol asher hu oseh, Hashem matzliach. Everything that you touch will turn into gold. This is the blessing that we receive this week. So two things. To receive that blessing, I need to have two levels. One, never sit down. Meaning, never looking for comfort. Never looking for lay back. I've done so many sales today, let others. I've seen so many people today, I need to rest. I'm changed so much throughout the year, and I'm going to stay. It's okay. One day I'm not going to work on myself, right? Or some people, I ate healthy for the last 6 months. I can cheat, right? Or, all kind of like barters, right? All kind of exchange. Exchange you do with captives. Exchange you do with prisoners. That's what it is. There's no way. Who are you exchanging with? With your own self? With your own ego? You convincing yourself, no, yeah, I work so hard. What is that? How do you know you work so hard? How do you measure that? Yeah, I'm looking around. Hey, you're looking around to losers. And then you realize, oh, I'm so good. That's not the right way. Of course, you're going to give yourself a slack, and you're going to give yourself a break, and you're going to give yourself a laid back moment, and you give yourself so many things because you don't give yourself enough. First, that consciousness of what Yaakov teaching us, Vayeshev Yaakov, you don't do. You run away from Lashevet, from sitting down. What do you mean sitting down? I'm not about physically sitting down. I'm done with this. I don't want to do it anymore. I need to retire. I'm going to go traveling. No problem. But the consciousness of why you're doing it and what you're doing every single day has to be endless change, endless awakening to everything that you do. Is for the sake of sharing and for the sake of influence, change, or service to the world. Everything. Once you're looking at everything in your life this way, now you're getting closer to the second consciousness, which means, Bishvili nivra ha'olam. It says in the Zohar, in portion Tzav, those of you who study Zohar, in the Zohar, it says that complete verse, and again, it's explained more about it. But it says that the entire one need to achieve a level that they understand and they connect and they completely there in that consciousness that the world, the entire world was created for them. Bishvili nivra ha'olam. You have to have that consciousness. Otherwise, you're always going to be in bartering between you and your negative side, you and yourself. You're going to battling yourself all the time. Everything in this world was created for you. Well, what about them? What about them? Yes. In one hand, you're serving for them. And in one hand, they are standard in your movie. Everything, if you don't understand that everything that appear in your reality, but it appears to others, not the same. Don't compare. Don't equalize with others. Don't try to, we are the same. No. It's for you and for your ears and for your eyes and for your only experience. That's why Joseph is sharing with us this idea. Because we can all achieve it. We can all achieve it because he realized everything my brother's doing to me, everything going on in this pit hole, in the prison, in Egypt. I meant to do something greater and greater. Therefore, those situations are exactly for me, are precisely for me. Most of us, if I say, Bishvili nivra olam, the world was created for me. Look at, if let's say tomorrow, today, you're saying, you know what? Okay, the entire world was created for me. That weather? No. Why this weather? The weather, I don't like it. That's not for me. Yes, it's exactly for you. Oh, these people who are attacking you, these people who stole from you, these people who cheated on you, right? That's for me. That's what the Creator created for me. Yes, because that's the only way you can overcome the why me. It's the only way you get tested to see what and how you're going to respond with the paycheck that you received, with the glory that you got, with the fame that you achieved. What are you going to do with the fame? Wow, me. No. Run away from the me, right? Again, each one of us understand all our commitments, all the discomfort, all the pain, all the challenges, all the tests are created exactly, precisely for you, and you cannot compare it or tell others, you see what happened to me? Oh yeah, you're right. You don't have to worry about it, because who are your friends to approve that you don't need to do this or you don't need to do that, right? It was only for you. It's the challenge. The experience was only for your eyes. And you go and you think people will solve it for you? No. So all the lack, all the pain, it's exactly created for you to move you into an endless direction. Only an endless sharing, endless influence, endless service for others. This is how you serve this world. The entire world was created for me. Now I need to serve the entire world that was created for me. Like the creator, you think the creator created all these worlds and then left? Oh, no. I created, I'm taking care of it. It's like when you create a child and you let it grow like that. No, you're taking care of it. You're always involved. What's going on? What else they need? And you open a business. Oh, okay, I'm done. I open the door. That's it. No, what the business need, what the next merchandise, the next thing, the next employee. You're always taking care of it. Like you need to take care of the entire world. How? First of all, have that consciousness that everything, the good and the bad, it looks like, the difficulty and the tests and all of that, right, only makes me stronger and stronger to handle more of this world, right? To take possession of all this world and to influence tremendously in this world. And the third idea is let the light of the Creator run through you. Let the Creator use you as a vehicle in this world, meaning use you to funnel that force of creation without interference. I always said, when imagine, you're lying there in the beach, in Venice Beach, right? And then, oh, the sun is so good, and then someone comes and talking to you right in front. Right? And you tell them, excuse me, you're blocking the sun. Can you just move a little bit? This is every single day. I would like you to say to yourself, move away from the light. Move away from the light. Let people use you and your experiences. Let people, feel the light from you by moving aside. Let the light shine through you without inserting yourself. And how I'm going to capitalize on that. And the last point, that it's very funny, in the end of the portion, Joseph fell into slightly consciousness that is not really where he wants to be. But he says, don't bore you with all the story, but he got to be in prison again. And then he helped the head of the prison. And the head of the prison got succeed and was elevated. The Sarah Mashkin, the guy anyway, long story short, one of the ministers, he helped a lot, and the minister got promoted, right? Joseph tell the guy, Kartani el Paro, please remember me. Boom, he got 2 more years in prison because he just said it. He just said it. He's just like, what, don't forget to mention me to Pharaoh. He got him 2 years in prison. Not again that guy, obviously the system. But what does it mean? What does it mean? Every delay in our life, every delay that happening, things take longer, extending, become like, rubber band is just like going back and forth, sometimes losing their taste already, It's like, I'm chewing it. It's like, lose all flavor. Like you're chewing a steak. The first bite, you feel the juice, and then it becomes so chewing, You chew it. Eventually, it's just a piece of meat, no flavor, right? So again, what causes that? It's all the doubts that we have that about maybe someone not going to remember the favor that I did for them, right? Or that the Creator maybe will forget how I helped so many people in this world, right? We always want to make sure that somebody remember how great and what we did and how we helped and what favor, we gave to others. One of the strongest tools that you can have is to completely erase any memory of all the favors that you did do for others or to the world. Oh yeah, I helped so many people. I transformed so many people's life, No. How can you even remember? How can you even remember that you help so many people? That's the problem. You should forget all the people you helped and all you did favored. That is a security system. You want alarm system? Have an alarm as soon as you're thinking, so somebody need to remember you. Remember what? No, run away from that. That's a security system that you're not going to fall. You're not going to fall to that me and, and like back and forth, and then no delays. Everything in its time, in its moment, exactly how you want it. So again, this is the powered energy that we want to connect in this week. The most important part, Kol asher hu oseh Hashem matzliach. Everything that you do, the Creator will succeed, even though it's not the right thing, even though you didn't say it right or it wasn't right. That's what I wanted everything, at least, again, even if tomorrow you're going to decide to I don't know, to sell curtains or to sell TVs. It's nothing to do. I don't like, but the Creator will succeed your way, no matter what endeavor you have. If you have that consciousness that the world was created for you, and you never remember what favor and how you help people. Never. I forgot completely, right? You have to be in a surprise all the time. People come, oh, I want to help you. Why? Oh, you helped me. No, I don't remember that I helped you, right? And remember, the reason we get excited to start something or about someone or about relationship and then turn into sour, turn into a prison, because, of course, we have that consciousness of Ayeshev. We are sitting down. Oh, now I found my relationship. Now, when someone looking for a relationship, usually they working on themselves, they losing weight, they making themselves pretty and blah, blah, blah. And then after they find a relationship or they get married, stop. A hard stop. The belly, right? All of a sudden, I'm comfortable, right? And boom, the negativity starts. Again, remember that is you started a job, you're so excited, and then, oh, now I find my place, I know where I'm going, 8 o'clock, I know where all the shticks and all the things that I can do, and now I'm comfortable. Boom. Remember this. This is a great, great blessings to have in this week. And again, remind ourselves, I want to be the person that when everything I'm doing, the Creator will succeed it. Because everything I'm doing is for the sake of sharing, is for the sake of influence, is for the sake of service for others. And that is a security that you're never going to stop. You're never going to want to stop. Now, again, wherever we are today, we're thinking like, oh, I think it's impossible, if I'm not teaching Kabbalah or I'm not doing a yoga class to others. No, find a way. Find your own unique. The world was created for you. Find why. If you have more questions, you can always ask. But thank you for coming and being there. Please like it or share it and have a beautiful rest of the week.